Right now, there is a small group of people who found out that two tools used together can quietly build a newsletter that pays their rent. Not with some sketchy trick, not with a course they're selling you. With an AI model and a newsletter platform that most people are still using completely wrong. By the end of this, you will know exactly how they're doing it, and more importantly, why almost everyone else fails at the same exact method. Before we go further, if you want the full breakdown without missing a single step, tap like, drop a comment with the word newsletter so I know you're serious about this, and subscribe so the rest of the series actually shows up for you. Okay, let's get into it. Here's the setup. On one side, you have an AI model that can write, research, edit, and think through problems almost like a strategist sitting next to you. On the other side, you have a newsletter platform built specifically to help writers grow an audience and get paid for it, with tools for subscriptions, sponsorships, and even a built-in ad network that pays you just for having subscribers. Most people only use one of these tools, or they use both badly. The people making real money figured out how to make these two things work like a single machine, and that machine has 4 parts. Part 1 is the niche engine. Part 2 is the content engine. Part 3 is the growth engine. And part 4, the one almost nobody talks about, is the monetization stack. Miss any one of these 4 and the whole thing falls apart. So stick with me, because I'm going to walk through each one, and the order actually matters more than you think. Let's start with the niche engine, because this is where 90% of people quit before they even begin. Most people pick a newsletter topic because they like it. That's the wrong starting point. The right starting point is a topic that has 3 things at once: an audience that's already spending money in that space, an audience that's underserved by existing newsletters, and a topic specific enough that you can become the obvious voice in it within a few months instead of a few years. Here's where the AI model comes in, and this is something almost nobody is doing correctly. Instead of asking it, "Give me newsletter ideas," which gives you generic garbage, you feed it a much sharper prompt. You describe your own background, your curiosities, and the audiences you already have some connection to. And you ask it to cross-reference that against markets where paid newsletters already exist and are succeeding. You ask it to identify gaps, not what's popular, but what's popular and underserved. That distinction is the difference between a newsletter that plateaus at 300 subscribers and one that crosses 10,000. Once you have 3 or 4 candidate niches, you don't just guess. You have the AI draft a positioning statement for each one. One sentence that explains who this newsletter is for and why it's different from everything else out there. If it can't write that sentence cleanly, the niche isn't sharp enough yet. That's your signal to narrow it further. This step alone, done properly, will put you ahead of most people who ever attempt this. Now, here's the part that starts to feel almost unfair. Once your niche is locked, the content engine kicks in, and this is where the real leverage of combining these 2 tools shows up. A newsletter lives or dies on consistency, not talent, consistency. The creators who make money aren't necessarily the best writers. They're the ones who never miss an issue, and that's exactly the problem AI solves, if you use it the right way. The wrong way is asking it to write a newsletter about X and pasting whatever comes out. That content is flat, generic, and readers can smell it instantly. The right way is treating the model like a research and drafting partner, not a replacement for your judgment. Here's roughly how that workflow looks. You start every issue with a single strong idea or angle. Something you noticed, something you disagree with, something surprising you found. You feed that idea to the model, along with a few examples of how you want to sound, and you ask it to build out a structured draft. An opening hook, 3 to 5 supporting points, and a close that drives the reader toward an action. Then, and this is the step people skip, you go back through it and inject your own opinions, your own specific examples, your own voice. The AI gives you the skeleton and the speed. You give it the soul. Skip that second step, and readers unsubscribe within a month because it reads like everyone else's AI-written newsletter. Do that second step properly, and it reads like nobody else's. There's a second layer here that most people never even discover. You can use the model to build what's essentially a content system, not just single issues. Feed it your last 10 issues and ask it to identify patterns in what resonated, what topics you keep circling back to, and what gaps exist in your coverage. It becomes a kind of editorial director that helps you plan a month at a time instead of scrambling every single week. That shift from reactive writing to planned writing is usually the exact moment a newsletter starts feeling professional instead of chaotic. Now let's talk about growth, because this is where the newsletter platform itself becomes just as important as the AI. The platform isn't just a place to send emails. It's built with growth mechanics baked directly into the product. Referral programs where subscribers can earn rewards for inviting others. Recommendation networks where other newsletters in similar niches can send you subscribers and you send them subscribers back. And embeddable subscribe forms you can drop anywhere. Here's the mistake almost everyone makes. They treat these features as optional extras and focus all their energy on writing. But growth features without content don't work, and content without growth features grows painfully slowly. You need both running at the same time. Use the AI model again here, but for a completely different job. Ask it to draft the copy for your referral program, the incentive messaging, the recommendation page description, and the subscribe page itself. These are short pieces of text, but they convert at wildly different rates depending on how they're written. A generic subscribe to my newsletter line converts at a fraction of a rate compared to a sharp, specific promise about exactly what someone gets by joining. This is a place where a few minutes of AI-assisted copywriting can double your conversion rate on the exact same amount of traffic. And here's a curiosity loop worth sitting with for a second. The newsletters that grow fastest on this platform are very rarely the ones with the most polished writing. They're the ones with the sharpest recommendation strategy, meaning they get featured inside other newsletters in adjacent niches. I'll come back to exactly how to land those recommendation placements in a minute because it connects directly to the money part, which is where this gets interesting. So now you've got a niche, you've got content going out consistently, and you've got subscribers coming in. This is the part everyone's actually here for. How does this turn into money? There isn't just one lever, there are four, and the creators making real income are usually wanting 2 or 3 of these at once, not just one. The first lever is the built-in ad network. Once your subscriber count crosses a certain threshold, you become eligible to run sponsor placements directly through the platform, without ever having to pitch a single sponsor yourself. The platform matches you with advertisers based on your audience size and niche, and you get paid per issue you want to sponsor it. This is the laziest possible way to make money from a newsletter, and it genuinely works, but only once your list is big enough, which loops right back to why the growth engine matters so much. The second lever is paid subscriptions.
This is where you take a portion of your content and put it behind a paywall. Deeper analysis, exclusive resources, whatever your specific niche values most. The platform handles the billing, the access control, all of it. The AI model becomes useful here in a very specific way. You can ask it to help you map out a tiered structure, figuring out exactly what goes free versus what goes paid, based on what similar successful newsletters in your space are doing. Get this split wrong, and you either give away too much for free and nobody upgrades, or you paywall too aggressively and your free list stops growing. There's a balance, and testing it with AI-assisted analysis of your own open and click data speeds up finding that balance dramatically. The third lever is direct sponsorships you land yourself, outside the built-in network. This pays significantly more per placement, but it requires outreach. And this is exactly where the AI model becomes almost unfair to use. You can have it draft a full sponsor media kit, help you research companies that are a natural fit for your specific niche, and write outreach emails that don't sound like a template. The creators pulling in the biggest numbers from this lever are rarely doing anything you couldn't do. They're just not spending hours writing outreach emails from scratch. They're drafting fast with AI, personalizing quickly, and sending far more pitches than anyone attempting this manually ever could. And the fourth lever, the one that connects back to that recommendation strategy I mentioned earlier, is cross-promotion turned into a real revenue stream. Once you're established, other newsletters will pay to be featured in yours, or you can set up paid swaps where both sides benefit. This becomes a genuine income line on its own once your list is large enough, and it compounds with the recommendation network feature on the platform, meaning your growth engine and your monetization stack start feeding each other. Here's the part that ties this entire thing together, And it's the piece most explanations of this leave out completely. These 4 levers aren't separate projects, they're one system. Your niche determines what sponsors are even interested in you. Your content quality determines your open rates, which directly determines what you can charge sponsors. Your growth engine determines how fast you cross the subscriber thresholds that unlock the built-in ad network and bigger direct deals. And the AI model touches every single one of these stages, not just the writing. Research for your niche, drafting for your content, copywriting for your growth mechanics, and outreach for your monetization. That's the actual machine. Not AI writes newsletter, but AI embedded at every decision point across a system that was already designed to make newsletters profitable. The honest truth is that none of these 4 parts is difficult on its own. What trips people up is trying to do them in the wrong order, or trying to do all 4 at once from day one. Lock the niche first, build a content rhythm second, layer in growth mechanics third, and only then start stacking monetization levers on top, starting with the built-in ad network, since it requires the least manual work, and moving toward direct sponsorships and paid subscriptions as your list matures. If you've made it this far, you're clearly serious about actually building this instead of just watching another video about it. So here's what I'd say. Go back to the niche engine section and actually write out that positioning sentence for your own idea before you touch anything else. Everything downstream depends on getting that one sentence right. If this was useful, hit like so this reaches more people trying to figure this out. Drop a comment with your niche idea or a question, and subscribe, because the next one goes deeper into the exact prompt structures for the content engine step by step.